Pastor Tyrone P. Jones, Church for the City, Yuma, Arizona. We're discussing the events of Jesus during Passion Week leading to the resurrection of our Lord. The Saturday following Jesus' crucifixion might be the most unique and overlooked day in the history of the world. It is the day between Jesus' death and his resurrection. Less is written in the Gospels about this day than any other in the scope of what is known as Holy Week. But what makes it so unique is this. It's the only full day in history where the body of the crucified Son of God lay dead and buried in a grave. The day before, he was crucified. The following day, he would rise from the grave. But what happened on Saturday, though we may not know much about this day, when we look at the few verses the gospel gives us an accounting for it, we find it was by no means a forgotten day to the chief priest who had handed Jesus over to death. During his earthly ministry, Jesus said many times that he would die in Jerusalem at the hands of the religious group, but on the third day he would rise again. We see it in Matthew, we see it in Mark. Of course, the chief priests, they scoffed at this, but they didn't forget it. Matthew 27:62-6 tells us of the fact of how this chief priest simply could not dismiss what Jesus had said. They went to Pilate and explained that while Jesus was clearly an imposter, his disciples might try to steal his body and fake a resurrection. Pilate's response was laced with poetic foreshadowing, but he did say, "Here's a guard of soldiers. Make the tomb as secure as you can." The entire week leading up to the crucifixion was filled with moments in which Jesus' power, strength, wisdom, and authority challenged many to reconsider what they presumed about him. He was not easily forgotten. He forced many, including the religious leaders, Pontius Pilate, and his own 12 disciples, to take a close look at what they really believed about who he was. That Saturday, as his body lay wrapped in a linen in a grave, there were many around Jerusalem who sat with uneasy questions about whether or not there would be another chapter in Jesus' story. His uncommon strength, coupled with the supernatural darkness that settled over the land during his crucifixion, set on edge those who wanted him dead, even after they had succeeded in killing him. It's Saturday, but Sunday's coming. Join us to hear how the powerful climax of Holy Week leads to the most life-changing event ever in the history of the world. Easter for the City, 9 a.m. and 11 a.m. at the Yuma Civic Center.